This is where the fun begins.
Hello there. How's it going?
Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here, and today I'm bringing you a really cool figure. Today we are looking at Pirate Captain Brutus from Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, if I'm getting my dates right, actually airs tonight, as in the day of release, December 2nd, and I am really excited. They have been doing a great job with all the promotion leading up to this show, and it is just a show that I think is going to be really fun. I don't think it's going to be insanely lore heavy. I think it's just going to be a slice of life in this galaxy, and you know what? Not everything has to have the galaxy at stake, so, like, I'm okay with some of these small day-to-day adventures. And it is what it is. If you don't like it, whatever. I know some people are just buying this guy to put him in their Cantina displays. Personally, not really my jam. I think he's just going to make a cool villain for the show. So, all that said, I'm super eager to get into this guy. Look at him. He is just loaded with accessories. Let's open him up and see what we're getting here. You know the drill. We look at the packages here first. He comes in the standard Black Series packaging from the modern assortments, where there's no longer the taper on the side. So you have your Black Series logo up above a big window showing Brutus and his many blasters off nicely. Star Wars Skeleton Crew in bright yellow. They've gone to another yellow here. He's number 6 in the line. Jod and the 4 Kids went in stock under code names on Amazon a couple weeks back. I pre-ordered them because they were like $20 each, and honestly, they haven't shipped yet, and it's like, I don't want to lose the $5 each discount. They're hitting everywhere right now, except Amazon. Mine are saying they're going to start shipping in the next day or two, so expect the Kids in a week or so. But this right here, I didn't get on Amazon. Nerdzoic had it in stock. I was ordering some other stuff, so it is what it is. But he is number 6 in that wave. So, warning, 4+ Hasbro. Art on the side looking cool. With his name, Brutus from Port Borgo. And then wraparound window, wraparound stripe, Black Series logo. Art of him again, his name, Black Series logo. A bio about the show, not the characters. Number 6 in the line. Legal stuff, Disney, Hasbro, barcode, legal stuff. Hanger tab. Very standard Black Series packaging stuff. Without further ado, let's get into the review. Here's Pirate Captain Brutus out of the packaging. As always, we're going to start by taking a look at the accessories. Now, I will be 100% honest. My initial thoughts when, like, the photos started going around, I'm not going to say that I, like, looked mega super close at them. I was just like, oh, hey, like a Wolfman pirate guy, like, whatever. I figured that the 5 blasters, there might be like one unique one and then like the other 4 might be the same, but all 5 of these are actually unique sculpts, which is not what I expected here. And they actually have unique spots where they slot in on the figure too. They might be to some degree interchangeable, but I don't know how far. So, to start, the leftmost blaster pistol looks really cool. It's cast in a gunmetal gray plastic with some silver paint going down the barrel, looking very, very nice. It is a cool sculpt, and it goes on his right hip. You lift that strap up, you peg it in, you flip the strap over, and you peg that back into the holster. That holds it nice and securely. This blaster here with the 4 barrels, otherwise it's a very flintlock looking design, has some gold on the bottom of the brown handle and over the tip of the barrel, also a gunmetal plastic color, looks very nice. Slots into the bottommost one of his bandolier. This kind of larger blaster, which is also gunmetal with some silver punches and just a little bit of copper around the barrel, looking cool, goes in the middle one right there, like so. The smallest little one here looks very cool. Another flintlock-looking, wooden curved handle. It's got some kind of gold copper rings going around it. Goes in the uppermost holster there. And then his left hip features another holster, and that's where this one goes. This one is a flintlock shape, has a nice curved wood handle, gunmetal plastic with some silver, and it is like the longest of the bunch. It's pretty long. And that slides in like so. It took me a little bit to figure it out, but it was actually kind of useful looking at the art on the side of the box, because it showed you, where 3 of them go, and then the other 2 you just kind of figure out. The ginormous one obviously won't fit in the skinny little holster. And when you have them all kitted up like this, he does look really, really good. I don't know what his gimmick is. Again, we're a few hours out from the show dropping. I don't know if he takes out other pirates and takes their blaster as, as like a trophy, like Grievous, or, like however. Like, I've got all sorts of little mind things going on. Odds are, dude is just, like a MAGA guy. Like, he just likes to stay strapped so he don't get clapped. But I ultimately do, like, really like this aesthetic. It's just really cool. It's just a cool design, not one that you see in Star Wars very often. So, otherwise, I will say his design is very Star Wars. So, we're going to start by taking a look at the head. He is a werewolf-looking guy. He's got a wolf head. I know apparently there was one of these in the Mos Eisley Cantina. Gonna be honest, never been super into the Cantina aliens. I couldn't tell you anything about whoever was in the Cantina. But I will say that Brutus here looks insane. A lot of really, really good sculpt work on the hair. The ears be poking up kind of high. Kind of looks like a furry. But yeah, he's got the very bright red eyes, the gritted teeth. Dude looks like someone that would give these Skeleton Crew kids a bit of a nightmare. He is very, very scary. Working down his design, of course, he has that bandolier of all the pistols, and that overlays a kind of canvasy looking vest. He's got these pauldrons where they're like feathers, kind of giving me feather vibes. And if they're not feathers, it's a lot of layers of scraps of stuff, So I couldn't tell you exactly from the figure. It's one of those Star Wars designs where there's just a lot. It's very busy. At its core, there are some sleeves that look very piratey. They're a little baggy, they're very dirty, very weathered. That's another thing, is he has a lot of just dirt and grime and wear and tear going on. It just looks insane. He's got the kind of like duster vibe going on with the comma down here. And I guess it's not a comma. I guess if it's a duster, it's a duster, because that's a jacket. I do believe that's meant to be like a jacket with an overlay over the chest, is how the costume works. He has some nice kind of reddish-brown pants going on with, again, the belt with the hip holster. So many paint punch-ins all over this guy. This is nuts. And then the pants go down to boots, which are black, and then they kind of have these like brown leather, like patches over top of the tops and the sides, and this is just the most insane thing. I love the split here in the back where it does overlap, but it would like get out of the way for articulation. I just feel like that's some really, really good figure engineering. And look at these hands. These hands are nuts. They got a little bit of fur sculpted on the back of the hand. No paint going on, unfortunately. I think that really, really could have accentuated things here. They are just a gray plastic. But he's got these clawed fingers and just so cool. Like, this guy is just nuts. I gotta say, it's one of those things where it's like, obviously, like I said, I don't know anything about the character yet. I'm intrigued just by the design. And at the end of the day, if it's something where, I'm just like, whatever, on the show, on the character, whatever. It's one of those things where I can just appreciate it as a guy that appreciates a good action figure. As a guy that can appreciate a good action figure, that argument got me to buy a Mythic Legions and a McFarlane figure and Hot Toys and all sorts of things. I'm a sucker for just a good action figure, something with nice sculpt and articulation. Speaking of articulation, let's go ahead and give that a run through. This has basically everything you would expect from a modern Black Series. They didn't do some of this wishy-washy back and forth stuff. He features a double ball jointed head, which allows him to look that far up, that far down, side to side, all sorts of pivot for attitude in there. His arms can come up to a T-pose where there is a very deep butterfly joint in there. Love to see that. There is a pin going in at the shoulder, so in theory the joint is capable of going 360 degrees, but the overlap of this, just like overlay here, gets in the way, where you can only go about that high up and about that far back. That's adequate for most anything, but it's a little annoying if you wanted to get him in like hands straight up over his head pose. But for any kind of battle pose, you're good there. There's a single jointed elbow that goes a little past 90 and swivels at the elbow. That is great. The wrists are ball jointed, so they can go up and down and in and out and all over. So that's really nice to see. They are a little buried in the sleeve there, which kind of hinders their movement a bit. But he's a blaster guy, so like I'm okay with it. He has a mid-torso ball joint. Allows him to crunch. That far forward isn't really a lot. That far back, which is okay. Got some side to side and some pivot in there. His legs can kick With the blasters in the holsters that far out, it does start to bow that blaster, so I don't really like that. I'll admit, that's not a perk. He can kick pretty straight forward. There's a little bit back going on. There's no upper thigh rotation. It's not needed with the modern design. I know some people get really heated over that, but he has single jointed knees that go past 90, and then the swivel at the knee replaces the thigh articulation. It does everything that you might need from a point of swivel. I mean, it's like, okay, like I need to have like a twist. Like, okay, you do it here instead of here. So it's just not a necessary point anymore. And it makes it look a lot more seamless up top. The feet can point basically straight down. They don't really go forward at all. I mean, maybe just a tiny bit more than just straight 90 degrees. So it's a little awkward as far as the going forward portion goes. But the rest of him is really, really good. I do like how he stands, and he just has a really, really cool presence on the shelf. So let's do some size comparisons. I'm going to bring in a character that is rumored to maybe pop up in the show, because we saw his ship from the Galaxy's Edge parks in the trailer in the background of a lot of ships, and that is Hondo Ohnaka. And that would be super cool if we got live action Hondo for the first time ever. I'd be all over that. Here's Hondo's droid, just the follow-in character there. That is the older R5 sculpt, just a little bit smaller. To do some comparisons to other Disney Plus era villains, here he is next to the new Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then the credit collection Moff Gideon, because for the life of me, I am working on all my shelves behind me, and I cannot find my standard Moff Gideon. And then, just to bring it in as a standard reference, here is the 2020 Imperial Stormtrooper, who stands at exactly 6 inches tall. And just to do a little flip around there, as you see, Brutus is a little taller than 6 inches. I feel like that is adequate, and I feel like he's one of these guys where, maybe in universe he's like 6'1", 6'2", he's a little big, he's a little imposing to most people. Ultimately, I like how this works. So at the end of the day, what do I think of the Black Series Pirate Captain Brutus? He looks really freaking cool. I just cannot believe how this figure turned out. There's obviously been an insane amount of sculpt work going on here. Obviously, whoever designed this put a lot of time into it, and I really hope that the payoff for the character on the show is worth it. I'm excited to watch the show tonight. I'm amped. I think that this show is going to be a really good one. The Star Wars theory fans won't, of course, because they never do. But I'm geeking. I'm excited. I'm going to have a lot of fun watching this. I think the majority of you will as well, as long as you approach it open-minded, which, again, the theory fans don't. But this figure is really cool. And again, I know people are going to buy it and just put it in their cantina setup. More power to you. I'm going to put them on my Skeleton Crew shelf, because I'm already feeling that this show is going to earn a little spot on a shelf. So, that said, that's all I got to say about them. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, you should leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that end of video stuff. You know the drill. I'll catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you, and goodbye.